Heath Ledger's death was a tragic accident. I have now seen I Am Heath Ledger, and I've realized that it wasn't the Joker that killed him, it was him, unfortunately. What happened was honestly, he should have never been experimenting with drugs. I don't really get why he did that. He didn't need the drugs to become the Joker. It's clear. I mean, apparently when he was on set, he was the Joker. But then when he was off set, he was himself. So, like, no one really saw a problem. And so, therefore, no one could take care of him because no one saw a problem. What he did was he never really liked Perth. He wanted to get away from Perth when he was young. So he did basically what Bryan Cranston did. He did a road trip. He did a road trip when he was like 20 or graduated high school. And that's what stopped him from becoming who he could have been. I mean, his first movie was 10 Things I Hate About You. I think he was 20 when he did that film. I mean, it's a great film, but it didn't really show his talent. It just showed him as a character. And he wanted more than that. He wanted to be something more than that. So then he does all of these odd job films like Nights. And then he gets his billboard and he's like, wow, I'm famous now. And it's like, I don't really want to be famous. So he's like one of the tragic actors, you know? He didn't really want fame and he got it anyway because that's what happens. Like J.K. Rowling, she didn't want fame. She got it anyway because her book was bigger than her. She tried to shut down her organization and it didn't work because even if she had like a book burning of Harry Potter, they would just think she's crazy. They wouldn't stop publishing the books. Do you have any idea how like marketing works? And she had no idea how marketing works. She had no idea what she had gotten herself into. Like, if she went back in time, she probably would have stopped the entire thing. Like, no, I don't want Harry Potter. No, I don't want this. Now she's fine. But, like, before she wasn't. And she was extremely damaged. Like Heath Ledger, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying Heath Ledger and J.K. Rowling are the same person. They're not. They have very different similarities. They have very different similarities, but also they're very different people. So, I mean, you can't say the Joker killed him because it didn't. He killed himself, but he didn't deliberately kill himself. It was a mistake. So, like, all these movies he did, he wasn't really satisfied. And really, when Christopher Nolan contacted him and said he wanted him to be Batman, and Heath Ledger refused, that didn't go away. I mean, he read comic books when he was young. Well, actually, no, he didn't. He didn't care about comic books. It wasn't something he was interested in. He was like the Oscars, you know? They don't care about comic books. I mean, ironically, he became a comic book character, which is something he never really wanted to do. I mean, he was interviewed, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to be these characters because it would be stealing the platform from the amazing actors that were them. Like, I don't want to be the Joker because Jack Nicholson would it would just mortify Jack Nicholson because I don't think I could do it as well as him." And, like, if he interviewed Jack would have been like, "Go for it, man. Do it. Why not? Like, it's fun. One of the most fun I've ever had, like, to be a character. But you were just yourself." Yeah, but it was still cool, like, wearing the makeup and stuff. Like, bye, Emilia. It's dope, you know? So, then Christopher Nolan does the first movie, and he's like, wow, this is so good. And he wanted to be a part of it. And he already had an in with Christopher Nolan. So he was desperate to get the part. He was fighting Robert Downey Jr. and someone else. But he got it. He got it, and he nailed it. And Christopher Nolan knew he would nail it. Like, he was never in doubt of that. He just didn't know how he would do it. Like, he didn't really read scripts. He was just he probably did read scripts in the beginning, but at the end of it, he was a method actor, and he was incredible. And why is Jared Leto's method acting not appreciated the way Heath Ledger's method acting was appreciated? Well, it's because Jared Leto didn't risk anything. He just became this character, and no one knew why. Like, he just wanted to be the Joker, like Heath Ledger. But the thing is, Heath Ledger had Christopher Nolan behind him. Unfortunately, Jared Leto had David Ayer. No one knows who David Ayer is. They don't care about David Ayer. They don't give a shit. Warner Brothers wouldn't care if the man died. Like, they'd be like, oh, sorry, another man died today. But they wouldn't give a shit. Honestly, Warner Brothers is a terrible organization, if you think about it. I mean, Warner Brothers destroyed Suicide Squad. Not David Ayer. David Ayer had ideas that were amazing. He wrote the script. The best directors write their scripts. I'm sorry, but it's true. Christopher Nolan writes all of his scripts. He wrote the Batman franchise. And it's one of the most popular Batman movies out there. Christian Bale hated wearing the outfit. He hated it. Yet he still did it because after you're this iconic character, you can't just go away from it. You'd be mortified. And you would also be destroyed. Like, if he decided that he was going to give up the cape and cowl before the second movie, like, people would have destroyed him. Like, I don't know what would have happened. The media is insane. And then there's also the people, the public. Like, they would go crazy. They'd have, like, maybe an uprising, like in Bane. Well, in The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it's terrifying if you think about it when you become famous, because you really don't know what's going to happen. Someone could kill you tomorrow. Like, it's one of those things that you don't really want to do, or you want to step into the light and be like, cool, and then back out, and then let the light die, because you don't want to be in the spotlight. No one does. No human being wants to be put on display. None. No. It's just not human. And the ones who do, well, they're kidding themselves. Like Robin Williams. Fortunately, he killed himself. Heath Ledger did not. Heath Ledger tried to become an iconic character, and he did. But he was still Heath Ledger. We can't forget that part. We can't say Heath Ledger was the Joker. He was, but he isn't that person. He's a character. He was a character. He wasn't an actual person. But let me get back to Jared Leto. Jared Leto actually is in pretty good standing right now. Even though he's attacked Warner Brothers and he's extremely pissed off at what they did, and he might have been a bit naive on exactly what he expected was going to come out of the Suicide Squad, he still could have good standing. I watched this stupid fucking video about people who would replace Jared Leto. No. Jared Leto is the Joker. Unfortunately, Heath Ledger isn't. Heath Ledger was the Joker. Now Jared Leto is. And if you believe differently, you should get yourself checked, because it's wrong. You're wrong. You're all wrong. I don't give a fuck how many faggots post this and say, like, oh, yeah, well, Christian Bale's the worst Batman, so you deserve to die in a small house alone and masturbating 4 times a day. Like, sure, I don't give a fuck, man. I am at the point where you could say anything wrong and I would make you feel wrong about it. So don't tell me that I'm wrong. I'm right. I'm always right. Anyway, after that little anger spiel, I just want to say that Jared Leto did something that Heath Ledger didn't even do. Heath Ledger did The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger did The Joker as a psychopath. That in movies hadn't been attempted yet. And he succeeded with flying colors. Jared Leto is not a psychopath. He is just a man who likes to laugh. He is a man who likes to have fun, but has this very, very twisted sense of humor. That's the Joker. That's the original Joker. That's Jack Nicholson's Joker. He still learned how to have fun. He still knew how to have fun. Heath Ledger's Joker didn't give a shit about really having fun. I mean, he had fun, but he was a psychopath. Like, he did something that we've never seen on screen before. Jared Leto is Jack Nicholson, but Jared Leto isn't being Jared Leto. Jared Leto is being the Joker, and he did it so well. I mean, yeah, sure, there's very, very few scenes that he's in, but if you really look at the cut version stuff, like, he's in a lot of stuff. David Ayer wanted him to be in the movie. He probably even had a fucking origin story written for him, and then we didn't get it because Warner Brothers was like, no. No, we don't want Jared Leto to be the Joker. No, that's not happening. So, like, that's what happened, and it's sad. I mean, we don't really know where he's going with this. Like, we don't know that. I mean, there's this theory that Jared Leto's Robin. No, what? Where the fuck are you coming up with that idea? The Joker is not Robin. If anything, the Joker is Jack Napier. And there's some idiot who thinks he knows why, but he's an idiot, because he doesn't. Tim Burton created the name. There's no Jack Napier in the comic books. There is none. I've never seen a Jack Napier in any of the comic books. I've read The Killing Joke twice. There is no Jack Napier. They just talk about a comedian who becomes crazy. And that's the Joker. He's also Red Hood. So their stupid spin-off of Red Hood is also stupid. Tim Drake as Red Hood? Like, no. No, fuck that. I mean, I understand that Tim Drake is Tim Burton, but again, fuck that. That's wrong. No. No. See, if you're going to keep an origin story, stick to the fucking origin story. Don't start doing other stuff that makes no sense. No, the Joker is Red Hood, not Tim Drake. No. Harley Quinn, why would she save Wonder Woman? Because she was her childhood hero? Well, actually, that has a lot of merit. But, like, what people don't realize is Suicide Squad was a brilliant film. It's not about the Joker. It's not even about Harley Quinn. It's about love. And how the hardships of love. Diablo's love for his dead wife and children. Deadshot's confused aspect of what love really is. And his love towards his daughter and how he just thinks his ex-wife is a bitch. Harley's love for the Joker. The Joker, how he doesn't love, and yet he meets a woman that basically tests him to no end, and he can't stand it. But that's the hardships of love, you know? You have someone who really loves you, and you're like, no, I don't want to be with you. No, it's just not me. And then the whole fight with trying to get to the person that you really, really want, and then in the end you're told, nope, you can't be with them. But that's not the Joker. He can be with Harley, and he is with Harley. But the thing is that she tests his buttons, and that's a real human being. So their relationship is one of the most solid relationships you've seen in, I'd say, comic book history. Like, look at Black Widow and Hulk. I mean, what the fuck's going on there? Hulk crashes a plane. If we're understanding this properly, he's dead. But I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. Mark Ruffalo could still become the Hulk. I mean, he's really good at it. What's his name? The Australian played Wolverine. Fuck. Hugh Jackman is done with Wolverine, so we're never going to see a Deadpool and Wolverine thing, which would be really cool. If Ryan Reynolds really pisses the shit out of him, maybe we'll get like a cameo, but I doubt it. I mean, he's not the kind of guy that really wants to be a shit disturber. I mean, he is a shit disturber, but he is got support, you know? Jared Leto had no support. He was a shit disturber who lost all his support. So it makes perfect sense that people wouldn't want Jared Leto anymore to be the Joker, but they should all be shot in the face because Jared Leto is the Joker, and people need to realize this and then move on with their fucking lives, okay? I am not a geek. I am not a fan of anything. If anything, I'm a fan of characters because I write books. So all you idiots that think you know Batman better than the people who wrote the comic books, shut the fuck up, okay? I am tired of you. I don't like you. I don't care if the video game has weapons. That is not important. What is important is that you are watching this video, and no one has stopped the video yet, except me.